this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay private, but I got them groupies. On me in private, but don't get all choosy. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top of the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Trying to stay humble, but I get real moody. Try not to stumble, but she a real cutie. Bust out the bubble and in with the newbie. FTLOG on the top of the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies.
Yo, yo, what up, fam? What's good? What's good?
Yeah, we fucking up bands, make it again. Don't understand, don't comprehend, do not pretend. When will it end? It just began. We toured the land, told her to come. Who is she with? We on the run. She brought a friend, hop in the back. Is she the one? Shit, nah, she ain't the
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 test, 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 testing, 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 testicles, testing, testing, testicles, testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1171 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because I'm not flex, you flex, we all flex. Biceps. What is up, Beaches? Thanks for joining me live on Facebook, YouTube, of course, Instagram, Periscope, and Twitch. And of course, those of you that are catching this later, banging your ear holes on the Slamcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, everywhere that you like to fuck your ear holes. Wherever you like to put the knowledge cock, I'm down with it. I'll slap you in the eyes. I'll slap you in the ears. If I had fucking Braille, if I knew Braille, I would probably post stuff in Braille. If we have like social media Braille, but we don't. We don't. But we're here and we are ready to do some Q&Anus. Today is episode 1171. For those of you that are brand new, if it's your first live cast, make sure you say "What up, Bish," and let us all know. Ooh, I got that little squeak. What up, Bish? Let me know in the comments that it's your first time. So the way this works is you got questions, Papa Swolio's got anus. So if you have a Q, I got some A for you. So now you can just drop your questions and then we'll jump right into it. So this is your floor. A lot of you have been asking me questions on my Instagram stories. That's a great place to ask questions on my Instagram story when I post those stickers, but I can't answer all of them. And I have a lot of fun with those. If you haven't noticed, I like being sarcastic and look, it's fun. It's fun in fucking games because on the question stickers, you can only ask a short question. So if you ask like, what's this? And it's like, well, what? I don't know anything about you. A lot of these questions, you don't have enough room, so I can't really even answer them because it'd be unprofessional and it'd be negligent for me to assume things. So it's much better when we do it here. So if you have questions, you could drop them below. In the meantime, if you don't have questions right now, or as you're thinking of them, as you're typing them in, I'm going to give you all some, let you know what's going on this week. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'll let you all figure out your time zone. So 2 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Right now, it's 7 p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. Eastern time, Michelle McDaniel, My thoughts will probably offend you. I always screw that up. My thoughts will probably offend you on YouTube. So congratulations to her for, she just passed 100,000 subscribers. I don't really necessarily like to follow those kinds of metrics, but it means that she's doing something well. It means that she's kicking some ass and people are noticing. So she does a lot of stuff. She does a lot of like cosplay. She dresses all up, but she covers a lot of the same subjects that myself, that Alan covers: fat acceptance, body positivity. This is trending stuff. So we all kind of see similar subjects. A lot of you probably message all of us when you send us screenshots. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. So a lot of the videos kind of have a lot of crossover. So we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about. And she mentioned that she was going to be on the podcast today in her video today. I posted a video today too, but I didn't film it today. So we hadn't scheduled it when I filmed that video. Ask Papa Swole, a brand new one, is up, by the way, on my YouTube channel. So if you want to catch it, if you're watching on Instagram, you will not be able to see this on Instagram. You're not going to be there if you watch on Instagram. So I will not be streaming on Instagram. If you want to catch the interview, you want to catch the podcast, you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Daily Swole Podcast. So you can find that. I blew that up in my Instagram story, and all you got to do is go there and type in Daily Swole Podcast on YouTube and you'll find it. Okay, here we go. So let's get some questions. So tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time, I would love for this to explode and to have a lot of people. We're going to have a lot of, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about everything. So I want to hear, I don't know. I just want to hear it fresh. I want to hear it straight from her mouth. And we're going to slam some shit. We're going to slam some shit. Let's see. Manny Pacquiao. What the fuck are you talking about Manny Pacquiao in this chat? Who the fuck cares about that dude? He was good, he was relevant 10 years ago. The fuck out of here, Manny Pacquiao. The fuck? You guys are so weird. YouTube is crazy. All right, Joshua James Smeef. James Smeef? I don't know why I'm on this accent kick today. All right, Joshua James Smith. No matter how hard I work my legs, they can't catch up to how my upper body makes gains. Any advice? Train them harder. Train them more often. You might not, I don't know what you're doing in terms of eating. I don't know what you're doing in terms of training. So that's very vague. And I don't know what you're doing now. So any advice? Maybe you're barely training them hard at all. So it's relative. When people say that they train hard, that's relative. For a professional bodybuilder, these psychopaths that train they murder themselves, that might be the average for them. Okay. So hard is relative. Challenging is relative. So what's heavy for me might not be heavy for you. What's heavy for you might be my warm up. So it's really relative. I don't know what you mean when you say no matter how hard I train my legs. That's subjective. So I might watch your workout and see you just fucking not putting in a lot of effort, not going to failure, not doing high reps and low reps, not doing good proper form. Maybe you're not activating the muscles properly. So focus on glute activation. Maybe do a lot of stuff maybe heavy hip bridges, focus on that. Start practicing yoga, get some more mobility, maybe have someone assess your form, do some videos or take some videos and assess your form, make sure you're hitting those muscles properly. But, high reps for legs is nasty too. Don't deny or don't ignore high reps for legs. Okay. Failure training is important. Pushing till your limit is important, but it depends on where you're coming from, where you're starting from, and then we can talk about where you're going. If you're trying to change something, whoever you are, whether it's nutrition, whether it's training, you got to know what you're doing now. A lot of people ask hey, should I be eating more calories or eating less or doing this? I'm like, what are you doing now? Well, I think I'm around. No. If you don't know what you're doing now, you got to figure that out first, because then you don't know if you need to eat more or less, etc. So good question. It's hard to answer that. I mean, we'll do our best. We'll do our best. I don't know you, man. I don't know ya. Aaron says, keep crushing it. It takes ridiculous consistency, volume, and overload. I am having the same issues. I'm doing legs twice a week. Also, understand that whatever you're trying to accomplish, a lot of you are expecting professional results. I think this has to be a part of the discussion a lot more. A lot of you with your nutrition and with your training, you're expecting professional bodybuilding, fitness model, Instagram model type results, and you're going from 0 to 100. So in your head, you're thinking, go hard, go hard, go hard, and you can't maintain that. You don't know how. You haven't built up to that level yet. I didn't build the muscle and get to where I am today overnight. It took 20 years, and I've gone through bulking phases and periods where I just didn't want to train that hard. And right now I'm kind of in between. I like a more leaner, more slender physique. I'm just not really stoked to just fucking be huge and massive, but that comes and goes. I'm just finding more fluctuations with me now than I have in the past. In the past, it was like just bulk, bulk, bulk. But it's relative, and it's also something that you need to keep in mind. How hard are you overshooting your target, so to speak? Oh, Ileana, thank you. I'm a new listener. I'm absolutely hooked. You're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Katie Ricky on Facebook. Papa Swolio, is losing weight around 3 pounds a week okay? Holy fuck. I'm down 31 pounds in 9 weeks and I'm still losing steady. I'm counting calories, watching macros, and strength training. Is it okay? Okay, this is going... We need to set the record straight, Katie. It is healthy and normal and fucking amazing if you're losing like a pound per week. If you're losing a pound per week, that's fucking amazing. I would like run up to you and give you a double high five if you're losing a pound per week. 2 pounds a week is phenomenal. 3 pounds per week, you're melting. You're melting. So I don't know how much weight you have to lose, but it must be significant if you're losing that fast. Hopefully you're not under eating, but if your goal is weight loss and you're maintaining that for now, it's not going to last forever. So understand that the way you're thinking about it, is it okay? I hope you understand that it's an exceptional rate of weight loss. That's not normal. That's far above the average. So that's going to slow down. So don't get discouraged when it goes to 2 pounds or 1 pound, because that's still fucking amazing. So keep that in mind. That's ridiculous. Let's see here. What we got on Instagram? Just found your channel today and subscribed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Let's see here. All is crazy on Instagram. I wish I could bring up the Instagram questions here. Eventually, when they merge the platforms or I'm able to stream to it, hopefully we can get that going eventually. Hi, I'm new. Well, hello. Welcome. I lost 92 pounds over the last 17 months with about 40 more to lose. I just started running, but it seems to be aggravating an old ankle injury. Is there any way I can protect it and run daily? Well, your body's telling you to stop fucking running. If you're running heel to toe, that's fundamentally incorrect. So you're just sending shockwaves up through your body. If you have a lot of weight to lose, in my recommendation, if you're obese or you're overweight, you shouldn't be running. That's just, that's a recipe for fucking disaster. If you want to do something like an elliptical machine or a step mill, that's safer because it's more controlled. But running, especially heel to toe, and especially when you're obese, is extremely high risk. So that's a warning sign. So I would stop doing that, honestly. I would stop doing so much running. I would practice yoga. I would do something more controlled. Maybe swimming would be more beneficial. Once you lose the weight, when you balance out your joints, maybe you start improving your running posture. I'm not going to tell you to go run barefoot and just start doing, proper running technique, but that's really what human beings should be doing. So even people that are not obese, when you run heel to toe and you strike hard on your heel, you're going to fuck your shit up. That's fantastic, by the way. Your weight loss and everything. So that's amazing. Food tips? The fuck kind of a question is that? Ask me a question, jabroni. Food tips. Go watch one of my thousands podcasts. Food tips. Google it. Fucking, I'll give you a tip. You see what I did there? A tip of the cock. Get it? Fatal Shark on YouTube. Papa Swolio, what's your thoughts on a prolonged fast, like anywhere from 24 to 48 hours? Maybe 24 hours, 48. If you're healthy, there's nothing dangerous about it. People do it. Your body's designed to do it. But what's your purpose for doing it? You can get great benefits from just doing something like intermittent fasting, doing 18-6 or 24, fasting for 20 hours and eating within a 4-hour window. You'll get a really great, or you'll get that more extended benefit because you're not just going to be, once in a while. There's people that are trying it, these biohackers, and you probably hear a lot of people that are trying to do 2-day fast and 3-day fast. Depends on what your goal is. If your goal is try to really hack your body and try to really go for like maximum longevity, it's possible. We don't know if that's really going to have all the impact in the world. Maybe intermittent fasting is just fine. Maybe doing 24-hour fast once in a while. You could do it and see how you feel. Just be careful. Don't do water fast. Don't not drink water. That's stupid in my opinion. I didn't even pull that question up. Danny Cornell, is it okay to train quads and hamstrings in the same workout, or should I split them to separate days? This is another example of overcomplicating your shit. Why would you split them up? You're not a professional bodybuilder. You don't need to split up quads and hamstrings. Of course it's okay to train quads and hamstrings. It's your fucking legs. Train your legs. Train your fucking legs. You're not a pro bodybuilder. Stop overreaching. Train them. Just fucking do legs twice a week. You'll be fine. Gina Johnson, this is a weird question, but I've been having a lot of heart palpitations lately. Should I see a doctor before going back to the gym? Yes. With a side of fuck yes. That's as far as I'm going to touch that one. Lulu on YouTube. Should you still train when you have pain in your knees? And what exercises should I do to help with the pain? Kind of a sketchy topic because pain is subjective and what's causing it could depend. So let's assume I'm gonna make a pretend situation. This is not necessarily what you're dealing with, but this is an example. Can you train when you have pain in your knees? Yes and no. Depends on what training you're doing. You could be doing corrective exercises. You could be doing other body parts. You could be doing things that are kind of going around the pain. One of the things that people do, for example, if like a bro thing to do, oh, my shoulder hurts when I do flat bench, so I do incline now. They don't fix the problem. They just avoid the problem. They detour. So instead of, why does my shoulder fucking hurt? Why does my shoulder hurt when I do bench press? I don't know, but when I do incline, it goes away. Because you're opening up the joint, you're not getting that friction and that irritation. You're not fixing the problem, you're just avoiding it, and it's going to come back and haunt you in the end. So why the pain is there in the first place, to be honest, it often comes from the ankles and also often comes from the hips. And one of the most common situations, maybe not your situation, Lulu, but a lot of times it's because the glutes are not activating properly. The hips are dysfunctional. So you have very tight hip flexors and you have very lengthened, deactivated glutes, and pretty much your hips and your lower back, everything's kind of like jacked up and not stabilizing the femur properly. So you get a lot of play, you get different compensations, and you start having pressure on different parts of your knees in a different manner. I'm just really trying to talk as general and understandably as possible without getting too technical. But one of the things that you can do is do gluteus medius activation. I have one of these exercises I posted on my Instagram. I think I have it on my blog, on my site, but you could do lateral tube walking. That's a very easy and very inexpensive way to activate your glutes. It's like a $2 or $3 resistance band. You can get a whole set of them on Amazon for like $5, and you do lateral tube walking. And what it does is it helps strengthen the sides of your glutes. Okay. There's muscles on the sides that can help stabilize and help abduct and externally rotate your femur a little bit more. So it'll take pressure off the knee, and a lot of times it can help reduce knee pain, because when you are doing certain exercise and certain movements over and over again, you get imbalances. You have to actively address those imbalances. You have to strengthen the weak muscles and lengthen the tight and the shortened muscles. So when we sit down a lot, when you sit down in the car, when you're sitting down at a desk, I don't know what you do, Lulu. Maybe you can add some context below. What do you do for a living? Do you sit down a lot? That could be a real sign for that. So yoga helps with that. Yoga helps with mobility and opening up the joints a lot. Jackie B. Fit on Instagram. Do you get professionally massaged? And if so, how many times per month? P.S. I love you. I love you too. I love you too. Do I get professionally massaged? I went through a period where I did, but I haven't. And usually because I look at that, I'm like, well, I could spend that money on either hot yoga classes, or I could spend that money on equipment. I can upgrade. So I battle that myself, like investing in that, or investing, because I have all foam rollers and I have these things that dig in. I'm going to get one of those fucking guns or jackhammers or Tim Tams and shit. There are a lot of different things you can do, but it's worth it. But it obviously isn't cheap either. Maybe it's like $80 or $100 for a good therapeutic massage. And we're not talking about a massage that's like, oh, it feels nice, a spa, put some cucumber on your fucking eyes. Like, you want a massage that's going to pull the muscle off the bone. You want to really get in there. So I think it's great. Are you from Asgard? Yes. What do I do for a living? Swole enormous. I love when people don't realize that this is a business. Thoughts on feeder workouts to bring up feeder? What's a feeder workout to bring up lagging body parts? What's a feeder workout? What do you mean? How are you defining that? Do you go barefoot when doing leg days? I wear my Vibrams, yes. I look amazing? Well, thank you. What's the heaviest you have ever weighed, and have you had any prolonged periods of time of not training? Not training? Not really. Maybe like a week or two, but it was on purpose. I've never fallen off and, I haven't trained in a while. Haven't for 20 years. I've been super consistent. I've adjusted my intensity. I haven't been training like a fucking animal for 20 years, but I've never taken more than like a week off from resistance training, really. Maybe 2 weeks. I mean, in terms of deloading, like not going to the gym, but it was always intentional. So I was never off my routine. I was always doing it for a reason. The heaviest I've ever weighed was 225. That's a long time ago. Let me scroll down. So let's see here. What's the best way? Stephanie Osachuk on YouTube. What's the best way to start doing pull-ups? Papa Swole. What's the best way to start doing pull-ups? Well, there are a couple different ways. What I don't like is this kind of I don't want to say overshared, but overexposed, like people using the bands and those assisted pull-up machines. That's really not the best way to do it. Anytime you're doing assisted pull-ups like that with a band, you're not stabilizing with your core. You're just really not doing yourself much of a service. It can help, but it's not the best way. My opinion, my experience is to do things negatives, but start with inverted rows. You could use a TRX, you could use a Smith machine, you could use a bar where you're pulling yourself up, and you can do it from almost a standing position. So anyone with any strength level can pretty much do it. And as you get stronger, you go more and more inverted. And I posted this many times on my Instagram page. You might have to scroll a little bit to find the last time I posted it. And then you can really almost go horizontal. And then once you get to that level, you can do negatives where you bend your knees, get up to the starting position, and then slowly do a descent for maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 seconds and do sets of negatives like that until you can go to a vertical position, a pull-up bar, and use a chair or have someone spot you and start at the top and do isometric holds and then do 3-second negatives and then work your way up to 5-second negatives, 10-second negatives. And then by the time you're doing reps of like 10 to 12, 13-second negatives, you could do a full pull-up. So it takes time, and it takes time. A lot of people are trying to fucking do a pull-up and do it in a couple months. Like, it might take a year. I don't know how much weight you have, your strength levels. You have to really, that's a whole invested time and consistent fucking effort. So it's not going to happen overnight, but that's the best way to do it. I still do negatives today. Negatives are fantastic. Fantastic. Ashley Echeverry. You guys had some great names. Echeverry. I've seen you here before. I've never tried to say your name, though. Papa Swolio. I do heavy squats on leg day and I do deadlifts on back day. Often my legs are still sore from leg day. When my deadlift day comes up, do you think it's okay to still do the deadlifts with leg soreness? Like anything else, if your legs are sore, it's going to affect your deadlift form. I would do them on leg day, or give yourself a day between. You know, that's kind of like a preference thing. Some people like to do deadlifts on leg day. I usually I've always kind of done deadlifts on back day, but now I tend to do deadlifts on a separate day. So I don't do them as often as I used to. And I'll do a lot of modifications. I don't try to go, I like conventional, but from the floor, it's just so form intensive and it puts so much pressure on your lower back. And it's a very high risk movement. There's a point of diminishing returns. So once I got to the point of I was doing 5 plates, I stopped really trying to go for strength. I'm like, all right, I'm good. So now I can do 4 plates. I usually don't. The heaviest I'll probably go now might be 225 or 315. I don't try to go super heavy from the ground, but I can also, what a great thing to do is, especially for those of you who might be tall or might have different, form capacities with your limb lengths and stuff, you can have it start up on blocks and just elevate the starting position. So one of the problems with deadlifts is that we all use the same plates, the 45-pound plates, whether they're bumper plates or regular weight plates. So everyone with all the different heights and femur lengths and shin lengths and arm lengths and experiences, everyone's deadlifting from the same fucking plate. It's the same reason why the SATs are bullshit. It's a standardized test. It's a standardized lift. So that deadlift, doing it from the ground from that exact point, that's great for competition because it evens a playing field. Like, you got to lift from there. That's what you do. And if you can't lift it as much from there as the next person, then they win. So it's like a standardized lift. But your body is not standardized. Your body is different from the next person. So if you need to start, and I'm learning that even with the depth of my squat, I'm not going as deep anymore with my squat, and I feel so much better and so much stronger, and I feel much more activation. I think I was going too low just for maybe my mobility at the moment or at the time, and just the way I feel, the way I've been doing it, I just feel great. So deadlifts, you can adjust them. You can customize it. That's the best part about fitness. If you're not competing, there's no rules. You can customize things to fit your needs. And there's so many different ways to build muscle. So many different ways to build muscle. It's not like there's one fucking way. There are many different ways to build muscle. Would lat cable pull downs help for pull-ups? Not really. Lat pull downs don't really do shit for pull-ups. Maybe a little bit. But there are so many people that do lat pull downs that can't do a fucking pull-up worth a damn. James, I seem to have right leg deficiency. RDL are a struggle. Anything I can do to get my right leg to catch up? Do single leg RDL on that leg. Do single legs. Hannah Baker, I just found your channel and just subbed. Thank you. I love everything you talk about, but I want to know, can I try to enjoy unhealthy foods once a month? It's hard knowing I can't have unhealthy foods forever. Well, first off, healthy and unhealthy is relative and subjective. So you can make an argument for both ways for whatever you're talking about. Can I try to enjoy unhealthy foods? Of course, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You're a grown-ass woman. You can eat junk food all the time if you want. It's important to understand what foods work best for your body. Now, if you're the type of person, one of the things that you need to do, or that would help you, is to progressively build these habits. Like, eliminate things one at a time. Eliminate something that's easy for you to eliminate, and then eliminate it forever. One thing at a time, and just progressively go from there. An elimination diet is fantastic because you learn how these foods make you feel. Some people can have a piece of pizza or two once in a while, and they feel fine. It doesn't really cause them any issues, and they like to justify that's how they want to live their life. That's fine. A lot of people do that every day and don't realize that's destroying their gut, and it's causing all this inflammation and bloating, and they feel like shit and all the calories and so forth. So you can play the calorie counting game, but I like both. You still want to pay attention. Calories and energy balance exists, but what's also important is understanding how these foods also make you feel physically. They give you energy. I, for one, know if I'm eating junk food all the fucking time, I'm not going to feel good enough to lift. I'm not going to feel fantastic. And it's going to affect other things. It might affect you might have a nice caloric balance, but if you're eating junk foods, maybe some of those foods are causing you to have restless night's sleep. So it's going to affect you a lot more than just, so you see what I'm saying? It's the quality of the foods. Ileana, when you were getting your degree in sports science, what was the school of thought that you were more interested in? I've heard NSCA is a great one. I had the CSCS for like 8 or 10 years, but I had the CSCS. I let those things expire. I still have some certifications. I have my degree in exercise science, but those companies, they're archaic. They're dinosaurs. Now, here's the thing. Here's the difference. If you want to train in a gym, then you have to go under their insurance and under their rules. But it used to be the gateway. They used to be the gatekeepers of information, just like libraries or universities. Those used to be the gatekeepers. But the internet, you all have a certification. You all have a certification. You all have the information. There's so much more and so much better information that's dynamically changing all the time than those certifications could ever provide. Now, it's a great foundation. It's a great compilation of things that have been shown to work, and it's great to get it. But once you have that certification, it turns into a money pit. So unless you're using it for your career, unless you are using it to work in a gym and they require you to have XYZ certification, it's just, hey, read this article, pay us $100, you get 0.1 CEUs, and pay us this. It's just money, money, money. So if you need to have it, that's good. But if you don't need to have it, you can learn everything on your own. It's just a matter of your passion. You can even buy the books and read them and learn. But if you want the certification, it's really about, do you need it for what you want to do? Don't get the fucking certification just for like, hey, I just want to learn stuff. Let me get a certification. You can just buy the book and read it. You can just Google stuff and you can learn and experience it. So that's just really, that's just my opinion. Those companies, especially the NSCA, I don't really know where they are right now, but they were very like 1986 for like 20 years. They were so far behind technology wise, very archaic, like old guard type thing. I mean, to get the CSCS, you need to have a college degree. So it's like, it was revered, and a lot of people still put that after their name, but it's fucking letters. It doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. There are so many people, and I covered this. in the Ask Papa Swolio today. It's like, just because someone has a certification doesn't mean they know what they're fucking talking about. There are fucking PhDs and dietitians and all these fucking people that are dumb as fucking bricks, stupid, and giving out bad information. So does that mean that having a PhD is bullshit? I'm literally telling you, like, I've seen both sides. I taught trainers to be trainers. I used to teach people and prepare them for the NASM exam for months, hands-on workshops and test prep. Like, I've done that for the NASM certification. So I know all the angles and all the different perspectives and things. It's not like those aren't gold standards anymore. How do I get a body like yours? You have my parents and you fucking eat well and train hard for 20 years. I'm 36, so you're active your whole life and you fucking train hard for 20 years on top of that. What's your opinion on overweight trainers? What's your opinion? I'm shocked that they have business. Anyone that gives an overweight trainer money they're not too smart. Pizza once in a while is fine. Just don't eat the whole box. Some people, it's really not fine. If you're a binge eater and you're going to go down the deep end, it's really not fine at all. And it's really not necessary and it's not healthy. So that's up to the person. So to say it's fine, that's a blanket statement. People justify a lot of things. People justify a lot of garbage food. Audrey, I do an upper lower body split in 2 conditioning days, battle ropes, sprints, box jumps, sled, blah, blah. The conditioning doesn't mess with my regular training, but do you think it's too much? How do you know? You're asking me, do I think it's too much? It doesn't mess with it. How do you know it doesn't mess with it? What are you trying to do? You do an upper lower split and you do a lot of like CrossFit, battle rope, sprint, box jumps and stuff. What's your goal? You're doing a lot of different things. So it depends on what you're trying to do. Will Carroll, what are some good channels for getting into yoga? I don't know. YouTube it. Google it. I do not know. All I know, and some of you might say, hey, I'm just plugging my own shit. I only know what I do. I only know the quality of the content that I have. So inside Swolenormous X, my website, my membership site, we have an entire yoga studio. So that's the fucking best place that I know of to do yoga. But I'm sure there's many other channels that put out yoga content for sure. I just don't know any channels. I don't look for them. What's the best exercise to lose body fat? There isn't one. Dun, dun, dun. It's hard for me. Richard Gaddis on Facebook. It's hard for me to eat salad without dressing. Any recommendations? Why? You're not a fucking cow. You're just going to eat salad, just grass. Put olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette, some salt, some pepper, some garlic. Yeah, recommendations. There you go. Put some sauerkraut on it, some olives. Boom. Nathan, what's up, dude? Almost every gym job I found near me wanted a college degree as well as a certification anyway. My NASM certification was useless even to get a gym job. I went back to work in web stuff. No fucking shit. That's probably one of the reasons. That's one of the fucking things. Look, because these companies grew so fast and they shotgun their certifications out and personal training. I did a video on Instagram and Facebook like a week or two ago. It was about personal training is the wild fucking West. It's been the Wild West for decades. So these companies, NASM, NSCA, making fucking bank just giving certifications to anyone with a fucking pulse. Like some of these certifications, you only need to have a 70, 75, or 80% pass. Like you can get almost a quarter of the fucking test wrong and still be a certified trainer. Okay, you need to have some kind of like minimal capacity, but fuck. So now all these gyms are getting all these people with certifications that don't know their ass from their elbow. So like, all right, we want a degree. Well, newsflash, just because you have a degree doesn't mean you fucking know anything. I mean, in many cases, you can have you have a degree, in exercise science? Because you can have a degree in anything. And a degree doesn't mean you're school. It's really what the person wants to put in. If you're passionate and you're doing a lot of research and see what I did, I had a degree. I had the CSCS, NASM, and CP, CS, and PS, and blah, blah. But I fucking was deep in the shit. When I was in school, I fucking lived in the gym. I tried everything. I read everything. I looked everything I could up online. In the summer, I fucking built muscle. I looked up workout plans and programs. I fucking did them to a T, and I tried this one. I tried this one. I tried these exercises. I tried doing just basic shit. I tried doing other types of shit. I tried doing this split and then this split and then this split and then that split. I fucking did it. So 99.9% of the shit that I talk about, it's from my personal experience. It's from what I did in the gym. And the education was kind of like, oh, it contextualizes things. And I understand how the blood goes through the heart and the pulmonary veins and arteries. Fucking useless bullshit that they teach you in these certifications and these degrees. A lot of it can be good, but it's how you apply it. Like, who gives a fuck unless you're gonna be a heart surgeon? Who cares about the left fucking ventricle? Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Yet these certifications and degrees and all this content makes it a big fucking deal. Like, if you're going to medical school, fine. If you're gonna be a personal trainer, who cares about where the blood flows? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Wasting time, wasting brain space. Steven, 9069, have you always done yoga throughout your training? No, not the beginning. I wish I did from the beginning. What do I mean by jabroni? I mean, you're a fucking jabroni. Buff Bree on Instagram. Is it possible that training can be negatively impacting my sleep? Yes. I train 6 days a week. As of lately, my mind does not want to sleep past 6 or 7 hours. Well, maybe you either don't need more sleep, but yeah, overtraining. That's one of the signs of overtraining. If you're having insomnia or trouble sleeping, that could be a sign of overtraining. But I like to talk about overtraining as a factor of under recovery. So if you're not recovering enough, by default, you're overtraining. So yeah, it could be. In your experience, Jesse, is there a natural pre-workout? Coffee, caffeine, actually, because everyone's asking me all the time. So here's the cool thing. So a lot of you know that I don't take pre-workouts. I'm actually experimenting. I've actually tried a couple different things just for fun, because people send me things, but I don't really like to get into that. I like to purchase things myself. So I've actually tried a couple things. I've always said, if you want to do there, okay, let me quote this because a lot of you are new to my content. I like to, when you're starting off, don't focus on the fucking supplements. You got to get your nutrition on lock. You got to get your consistency on lock. Now, when it comes to supplements, they're not really regulated and they're filled with a lot of garbage things. So what you can do is make your own. Now, there's a difference between a supplement that's going to be good for you, a supplement that's not really going to do anything for you, and a supplement that could be harmful to you. So if we're talking about creatine or glutamine or BCAAs, aside from the artificial sweeteners and the artificial flavors, like, it's not going to hurt you. Maybe those artificial sweeteners are really going to fuck you up. Some people are really sensitive to that stuff, but you know what I'm saying? No one's going to die from BCAAs unless there's something that taints them. And that's one of the problems. I said taint, but that's one of the problems, is that it's not really regulated closely. And sometimes they could be contaminated. But aside from that, a lot of these supplements just aren't necessarily worth your money and your time. But there are some, like the fat burners and those types of like hyperstimulants, that could be bad for you. So you want to be careful. But there are some pre-workouts out there now that organic and plant-based and all this, super kind of like healthy, that kind of stuff. There's a lot more supplements out there that are doing extra testing and third-party testing. And then they don't have any artificial things, or they don't have any of this, and they don't have any of extra that and this, no soy and no gluten and this. So they're actually making better things in terms of, like, they have the buzzwords down, but whether or not it's helping, whether or not it's assisting you, you can also buy the raw ingredients. So just to keep that in mind, there's a big difference between a supplement. When I say, fuck your supplements, it doesn't mean that it's bad for you, all of them, but sometimes you just don't know if it's doing nothing or it's good for you. And if you can't tell, is it worth $100 a month or $200 a month? Maybe you could buy better food and eat more. If you're trying to gain, you don't need a weight gainer. You need to eat more fucking real food. You see what I'm saying? But I always like looking, and there's always some new shit. So who knows? Maybe there's gonna be something that I will like and that I will be like, oh, cool, that's pretty. Because I'll be honest, I miss taking like the hardcore shit. I do. Look, I used to take pre-workouts. I told you all that. I used to take supplements like crazy. Because we're talking like fucking early 2000s, we didn't have, social media. Everyone wasn't blasting shit. And, I didn't really know any better. Just like, A lot of you're getting into it. You're just getting involved, but you don't need that shit. And I've been off. I don't take protein. I've played around with like some collagen protein. I don't see the difference when I take it or when I don't. I'm like, is that helping me? I don't know. And if I can't tell, then I'm like, well, fuck that thing. Like I want to take something. I want to feel, wow, I feel so much better. But then it's maybe I got better sleep. Maybe I took a big shit and I feel great. Like, wow, I feel lighter. My bowels feel, maybe I just ate some broccoli. Like I feel great if I don't have veggies for a little bit and I'm like, fuck, I was slacking on my veggies. I have a big bowl of broccoli with nice big steak and sweet potatoes. I feel fucking amazing. It's like, man, that's my supplement right there. Think of your food as your supplement. That's a great way to kind of shift your brain about it. How many calories do I eat? I don't count them. I don't really know how many I eat. I eat out of habit. Like I know kind of what I need, but I don't count them and I don't know my macros. I eat a lot of fat though. Let's see. Steph Andrea on YouTube. I lift weights, but I'm getting bulky and I don't want that to happen. What would you recommend, Mr. Papaswolio? What do you mean? I can't tell. Steph apostrophe Andrea. Are you a man or a woman? You lift weights, but you're getting bulky. So you got to eat better. You're not getting rid of the fat. You're probably eating too many calories. You should lift weights and just maybe cut down the caloric the volume that you're eating. Get your ass to the gym. Damn straight. Let's see here. Coffee is great. Coffee is a good one. There are some pre-workouts that aren't caffeine based. So a lot of people don't like caffeine or they get jittery from caffeine. Steph Andrea, again, an earlier one. I've heard cardio is trash for losing body fat. My cousin told me to lift weights. Is that true? Cardio is not trash. It's good to do a little bit of everything. I do a little bit of cardio as a warm up. If I do any kind of cardio, it'll be like sprints or stairs or hill sprints. I don't get out to do it enough, but I don't do a lot of, I don't go to the gym. I just did cardio. Like I don't do that kind of stuff, but I do yoga, hot yoga, yoga myself. I do about 10, 15, 20 minutes on the step mill. So it depends on, how much do you need? I think is a better question. How much cardio do you need? Are you trying to really challenge yourself cardiovascularly for cardiovascular endurance? Are you trying to just maintain proper cardiovascular function and you want to just, cover your bases? If you're trying to lose a lot of body fat, it's not about the cardio per se. It's about utilizing more energy than you're consuming. So doing activity, the problem with cardio is that when you're doing things like steady state cardio, you're doing a lot of cardio, your body adapts to that very quickly. So the amount of energy your body expends to do, let's say, half an hour of cardio, when you start after a year or 2 years of training, your body is going to laugh at that kind of cardiovascular output and you're not going to be utilizing as much energy. So you plateau and people are like, oh, it's not working anymore. Well, that's because that's why lifting weights and building and creating and breaking down living tissue like lean muscle, lean mass, bone strength, that's going to help you, increase your metabolism and utilize more energy at rest and while you're lifting and stuff and just going through your day, showering, eating. Your overall caloric burn will be more throughout the day. Let's see, we got some more questions coming up. Goat yoga. Goat yoga. What is that? Just but there are goats around you? What the fuck is this stupid shit? People do some dumb fucking shit. Dumb fucking shit. I don't know if it was a she though. How is she getting bulky? I don't know. I don't know if it was a she. I couldn't tell from just from the name. The biggest thing that helped me, Mackenzie Kamen, is just being consistent in going even when I didn't feel like it. I try to always do something. Even if you don't feel like it, just do something. Do some mobility, do some foam rolling. Like treat that as a session. Everyone always associates either you're training hard or you're not doing anything. It's like, that's not how it works. You can do a recovery day and that's still part of your training. Even if you're just meditating or you're just doing mobility or yoga, that's still a training day. It's just not a resistance training day. Every day is training. You're training yourself every day. Every day is training. Every day is training. And a lot of this is my opinion. This is my approach. But so you all are going to do whatever you're going to do. You're going to do stuff. You're going to do whatever you want to do, regardless of what I say. In reality, you're going to do whatever you want, but it's important to keep that in mind. Sumo versus conventional deadlifts. Your preference. I don't do sumo. I'll do conventional if I do deadlifts at all. But I'll leave that up to preference. Sumo, you might not have as much like stress on your lower back. Some people say it's harder. I never really did sumo too much. So if I do deadlifts, it's going to be conventional. Doesn't mean it's bad. If it fits better for you and you have good form and you like it, then go for it. Doesn't really matter. Especially when you're trying to build muscle. Again, bodybuilding. Most of you watching this and listening to this, you're a bodybuilder. You're building muscle and you're trying to, manage your body mass and your physique. So there are so many different ways to do it. So high rep, low rep. I mean, there's different ways. Different muscles on your body are going to respond to things differently than my body. So just because like you can build crazy muscles with 15, 20 reps and pushing to failure and doing volume doesn't mean everyone's going to do that. Some people love going super heavy. Some people like doing calves once a week, super fucking heavy. Some people like doing them every day and frequently with higher reps and full range of motion. Some people like mixing it up. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Is it okay to do yoga every day? It is, as long as you're recovering. What's your goal? It's okay. It's okay to brush your teeth every day too, if your goal is to have clean teeth. If you're doing yoga every day, if you're doing power yoga, you're going to be fucking beating yourself up. So it depends on what kind of yoga. What's the best choice on a calorie deficit? I have no idea what you mean. The best choice of what? No clue what you're talking about. Best choice of food? There's every food possible in the entire world. I don't know, man. Ask a question. Oh, hello. Caitlin Marie Artistry. Hello. I like your profile. Nice makeup. Fancy. Blaz. What's the opinion on using pre-workouts? Oh, we just talked about that. Are they cheating our gains? Are we supposed to train in our weakest state? Are we supposed to train in our weakest state to achieve greatness? What are you talking about? Are we supposed to train, like not take anything? So if you're supposed to train your weakest state, what are you going to starve yourself, dehydrate yourself, and be miserable and be battered and bruised and then go to the gym? Are we supposed to train? Who cares? Look, if you're going to take a pre-workout, a lot of you, whether I say take it or not, you're going to take something. I just want you to understand what you're putting in your body and how it's affecting you. A lot of you are just eating foods and doing things and going through the motions, assuming, hey, everything I put in my fucking face hole is going to be fine for me. It's not all the same shit. There's different chemicals, there's different compounds, there's different foods. You're a different person than me. Something that I eat might cause you a horrific allergic reaction for whatever fucking reason. So it's important to learn what your body reacts best with. And then if you know what your body reacts best with when it comes to like an elimination diet and you figure it out, you want to be a vegan or a carnivore or a paleo or a keto, whatever the fuck it is. And if you know, okay, this food X screws me up, it fucks me up for 3 days, but I'm going to eat it anyway. That's on you. At least you know that you're going to fuck yourself up and you're going to be dealing with diarrhea and bloating and migraines for 3 fucking days, but that's on you. That's your choice. Just yoga. Yoga every day is fine, but if you combine that with weight training, you might be overdoing it. Yoga is restorative, but it can definitely be overuse. Like hatha yoga is great, but it depends if you're combining that with strength training and doing an hour of it. Like you can definitely overdo it. Joseph, is it okay to eat sardines every day? Depends on if you want to kiss someone or not. You're gonna have sardines just like oozing out of your pores. Quality sardines, I would recommend getting the sustainably raised wild caught sardines. Try to get something that's not, in BPA containers and blah blah blah. Get a quality one, but I don't know if there's any contraindications that eating sardines every day is bad. Sardines are great. Like let's put that out there. Sardines are really a great source of omega-3s, and they're a much cleaner source than a lot of fish out there, especially because you don't know what the fuck some of this fish is. But I don't know if there's any Like, hey, if you eat this every day, you're going to have a problem. But that's the thing. There's always someone that has a problem with something out there. So I don't want to give you wrong information, but I don't think there's any issues with that. Let's see. It's good with pre-coffee. Full body or bro split. I don't believe in the whole bro split. I don't like you trying to pull in two different directions. Full body, there's so many different other ways to split than just full body or chest on one day and back on another day. Which is better for lean muscle gain? Both work. Both work. Everything works. You might not like that answer, but everything fucking works. I've done chest and back, legs and arms, and then rest, and then do it again. I've done chest on one day. I've done back. I've done this. I've done full body. It all fucking works. It all fucking works. I will tell you that if you're trying to build a lot of muscle, full body is not going to go that far for you. There is going to be a point where you need to start segmenting your training and overloading your muscles more and getting more volume. You're not going to want to be in the gym for 5 fucking hours for full body or 2 hours. It's going to be exhausting. You're going to need to overload your muscles a little bit more. So it depends on what your goal is. Have I tried cardi yoga before? No, what the fuck is that? Fuck that shit. No, I haven't tried cardi yoga. Someone making up some more dumb shit. No, that just pissed me off. It's fucking stupid. Cardi yoga. Fucking idiots. Everyone's trying to name something and market it. Everyone's trying to have something new. Cardi yoga. Cardi B. The internet says so many different things about this. The internet is pretty much the conglomeration of all human knowledge. So it says a lot about a lot of things. Yeah. There you go. Welcome to the World Wide Web. So I'm kind of confused about it. Frequency or volume? Like, look up the definition. They're both. It depends on what you're trying to fucking accomplish, people. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're training frequently, if you're doing body parts multiple times a week, you're not going to train as much volume each workout. If you want to train with more volume, you're not going to be training as frequently. It's a seesaw. You're going to be doing 30 sets. You're not going to be doing 30 sets twice a week and do 60 fucking sets. You're going to destroy yourself. For each body part, get the fuck out of here. So you might do, I don't know, 20 sets twice a week, whatever it is. I'm just exaggerating. I just threw out numbers and I just lost where my train of thought. So more frequency, less volume. More volume, less frequency. That's a good way to think about it. Very, very fundamental. Jessica N, my knees and hips. I saw knees and hips. My knees and hips are hypermobile. I saw knees and hips and I went right for nips. So I'm going to say it. My nips are hypermobile. Jessica has hypermobile nips. Is that possible? Can you have like a ball joint on your nips? Interesting. I see a little like a cartoon, Adult Swim, coming on that one. My knees and hips are hypermobile. Are there any exercises I should do for more stability, quad, glute strengthening? Yeah. I mean, glute strengthening for sure. Balance exercises. Just got to be careful. If you're hypermobile, you don't want to get hurt. But yeah, I mean, yoga would usually be great. Just because you're doing yoga doesn't mean you're going to be like increasing flexibility. It increases stability because you're moving your body in different positions and you're stabilizing. So there's a lot of great like single leg exercise and balance techniques and stuff that can help strengthen the muscles that stabilize the joints for sure. Lulu, no, it's real. They offer it at my gym. Oh, fuck that. Fuck cardi yoga. Cardi yoga. Cardi yoga. Aaron, what's up, Aaron? My dad, aka Santa, would like to know what home equipment can he use since he had a quadruple bypass. Quote, I'm just a beginner and would like to move better. That's not, those two questions don't, or that question doesn't really have all the parts in it. What equipment can he use since he had a quadruple bypass? First off, he needs to be in probably therapy and have someone actually monitoring him going through, because I don't know the details of his quadruple bypass. I'm glad that he's okay, but weight training and doing resistance training could be stressful if he's cleared for exercise. Maybe things like resistance bands might be better than weights. Got to make sure he's breathing properly. I would actually recommend a therapist or an in-person trainer that has experience with that, just to be certain. I don't want to be giving any improper information across, but that's serious. You don't want to go too intensely. And of course, when you're doing weight training, your blood pressure goes up a lot. You're holding your breath, Valsalva maneuver, you're lifting and stressing. If you're not breathing properly, you can build up tension, and you don't want to pop something that just got fixed. Yeah, I agree with that, Trish. It says start in the kitchen. Yeah, look, yoga might be beneficial if the doctor, like I'll say this with anyone. If the doctor, if he's cleared to do every exercise, let's say the doctor says you're good to go. You can get your head below your heart. You can do all this stuff. If you're cleared, I think yoga would be a great place to start. Absolutely. Because you could do very beginner, low level, low impact, seated, not really complicated, basic movements. He's cleared for going to his own gym. That's great. I would start him with yoga too. That James 11:30 on Shinstagram. And let's see, what time is it? We got, probably one of the last questions. We'll wrap this up. Just a reminder, tomorrow going live at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Michelle McDaniel from My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You is going to be here. We're going to smash some shit out. We're going to talk about everything. So tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, New York, Eastern United States time. So I'll let you all figure out where that is according to you. Speaking of cardio, that James 11:30, do you know how much is necessary per week just to maintain cardiovascular health? Maybe half an hour, a couple times a week. My main goal is gaining mass, but I also want my heart, lungs to be healthy. Do it as a warm-up. Do like 15, 20 minutes before to warm up. You should be warming up your body before you lift. Do 10, 15, 20 minutes of light to moderate cardio before you, just to get your body temperature up, then start warming up. A lot of you don't probably warm up enough. You should be taking like half an hour to warm up. If you go to the gym for an hour and a half an hour should be warm up, and then you should have like a nice little cool down afterwards. So you should be doing probably about 15, 20 minutes at least of warming up. So you want to do your general warm up, get your body temperature up, get your body warm. So your joints, your tendons, ligaments, things are, the blood's flowing. So they're more elastic. And then you do your more specific warm up where you do maybe a little yoga flow, you do your shoulder activation, your preparation exercise. And then you start with your first exercise and you go through with light sets and you build up from there. How often do I switch up my workout split? Whenever I feel like it. I usually stick to the same thing. Most people change their workout split far too often. I think one of the problems or one of the things that kind of sparked that improperly was P90X. Actually, when a lot of you started probably with P90X, that was like changing every 3 fucking weeks. You don't have to. That's a little bit overkill. Usually that's like the minimum. So you definitely want to generally it's better to be more consistent and stick to something longer than less and do it better and do it harder. That's what she said. They sure do. Rotator cuff is huge. I did a lot of warm up today. Thanks, Rice Man. Looking forward to having you there. Angel, I've been hitting the stair climber for 10 minutes before crushing my workouts for sure. I use a step mill, like the rotating steps. And I usually go on there and I'll text, I'll do a little story, I'll listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video or something like that, or answer some comments, things like that. And I go on there by the time I realize, it's 20 minutes. And I get a nice sweat going. Then I go and I warm up and I hang and I warm up and I go crush. It's great. Got to confuse the body, right, babe? Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Deborah, most hospitals have a cardio rehab program that usually lasts about 20 weeks. My sister had quadruple bypass 2 years ago. After cardio rehab, she was released. Gotcha. He is finishing up cardio rehab and wants to do more. Doctor basically said, start moving more. Dad loves listening to Papa. Well, tell Papa, was it Mathey? Tell him I'm glad that it went successfully. And if he's not practicing yoga, I think that's fantastic. I think that's a fantastic place to start. If he's doing some basic lifting and he's cleared for it, get him to start doing yoga, moving better, breathing. It'll help him with his breath, meditation. Fantastic. Fantastic. It'd be fantastic, Jalch. My gym has 3 squat racks. If one of those is free, I'm skipping warm-ups. Mine has 1. 1. So your gym's stacked. What's up, Tommy? Do you rotate between front and back squat for each leg workout? No, I don't. I actually did front last couple weeks ago, but I was coming off. I kind of tweaked something. I was trying something different, and I don't know. I took a little bit of a breather, but I did front squats exclusively for a long time, for like a couple of years. Felt like a couple of years, maybe 2 years. But then I got really back into back squats again. So I love back squats. I love both. You can rotate between them. Like I said, if it's bodybuilding, you're trying to build muscle, you can customize things. You don't have to be stuck you don't have to put yourself in a corner. No one puts Papa Swole in a fucking corner. No one. No one. No one. Have my workouts changed as you've gotten older? Yeah, I don't care as much. I don't care as much about building muscle. I just don't. I try to care because I'm like, no, you need to care. This is like your last kind of like few years of like putting on as much mass as you can, before it starts to be like the most you can. Like, nah. Yeah, of course, have I gotten more experienced? Of course. I've been lifting for like 20 fucking years. Of course I'm more experienced. So really what I've learned, I guess, just to wrap it up, is I learned what I need to do and how much I need to do to get what I want. I know what exercise I'm good with. I know which ones aren't ideal for me. I know how well I can recover. I know how hard to go when I come back from a couple days off. I really underdo it. Lately, what I've been doing, honestly, I still train hard. However, I am much more mindful to do less than I want to, because the reason why I've had so much success is because I train like a fucking psychopath. And I haven't gone down that road in a while, because it eventually leads to just a dead end. You're going to fucking get hurt. I used to train like a fucking animal. And it's really hard to shut off that switch when your body's saying, no, stop that. You're going to hurt. Oh, that really burns. That's really bad. That really hurts. We want to stop. And you keep on going, fucking going and going. Like, no, shut up. I don't want to be, I think part of it is also because I'm so focused on everything else I'm doing. Instagram's going to shut off. Yeah, it shut off. So fuck Instagram. It's been an hour, so we're done with Instagram. Sorry. Because I'm so focused on doing things like the podcast, because I'm so focused on building the business and providing content, making videos, and I'm passionate about this, my attention has shifted and my effort has shifted. My priorities have shifted. So it's like, I guess those of you that have children, your priorities shift to putting them first. My business is my child. My business is my baby, and that comes first. So I will get things done for this before, and I will work on my business at the expense of going to the gym, and I'll just do mobility at home, or I'll take a rest day and I'll do other things. So now I have started, I talked about this, I think on the Audio Experience podcast. I dropped one last night. If you haven't checked it out on the other podcast, go check it out. It's Swole Audio Experience. Check it out. But I just try to make it to the gym. I know what I need to do. I know how to do it. I've been there. I'm not trying to gain 20 pounds of muscle. I'm not trying to get shredded and fucking have abs like All I got to do is I drop my carbs a little bit. I get a little bit of sun and I fucking see my abs. If I want to bulk up a little bit, I have a couple extra sweet potatoes and I lift heavy for a couple weeks and I kind of get that fullness back. So I'm at a good spot, but that's because I've earned this. I've earned this over the course of my career. I've earned this, right? Like I've gotten to this point. So I know how to monitor. I know how to maintain. I know how to grow. I know how to bump it. I know what to do and how to do it when I go. So my time in the gym is much more efficient than it used to be. I don't have a goal for strength. I'm not trying to get stronger per se. I don't have a goal to get bigger per se. My goal now is to integrate my fitness and my training with my work efforts, with my other responsibilities and just be consistent. And I'm really more into the cerebral aspect. I'm more into the psychology. I'm more into the meditation. I'm more into what things that I have done that has helped me be successful in the gym and the fitness to this point, and kind of like going internal on that and breaking it down so I can divulge that information here, like in the podcast. So I still fucking love it. And I'm starting to get that surge back of training hard again. But, you know, it's whatever different seasons that you go through. And this is just a season. So whenever I don't feel like training or I go through like a little bit of a slump, I know it's just a transition. It's a different season. I'm getting older. I'm getting more experienced. I'm getting more wise. My beard is getting more dense. And, you know what I'm saying? My nips are getting harder. So I'm going through a different season. However, I'm still training hard. I'm still in it to win it. And it feels great. So as long as you're adjusting to stay consistent, that's what matters most. So thank you so much for joining me for 1171. Remember, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Michelle McDaniel from My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You on YouTube. It's going to be a great smash cast. We're going to talk about everything fat acceptance, body positivity. Who the fuck knows? Maybe we'll talk about video games or Comic-Con or Yoshi or Mario, whatever the fuck she does. Who knows what she's going to dress up as? Everyone's like, are you going to dress up? Look at me. I have no shirt on and I have long hair and a beard. I don't need a costume. I got better. Let her do that. That's her fucking thing. So anyway, be here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll see you for 1172. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose. It's your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.